This has its own magic. This has its own magic.
Welcome
Hey.
to episode 148. Better than your rose. It's your boy Phony Toast. Toast is with the mostest.
Chaz, the old nerdy bastard in the building. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well, good sir.
You doing well?
How are you?
Why do people think Darkseid is like undefeatable and he can't be beat ever in existence? Even though I have mad comics where he's been defeated. I have mad comics.
I think that what DC's tried to do over the years, for the Darkseid apologists, is they have gone out of their way to give Darkseid kind of a Superman style contract.
What do you mean?
Well, anytime he gets beaten now, he gets an instant glam up. So every time he takes a defeat, DC has to run back because, you know, he's supposed to be a badass. They're like, whoa, no, that didn't happen. That was his avatar. Have you seen the movie Avatar? Yeah, he's just in like different.
So he's a Navi.
He's a Navi.
He's a Navi.
Darkseid is a Navi.
I'm confused as shit. I'm confused as fuck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait, when did this happen? So MTF is on the feed saying hella PR team over in Young Justice. So maybe in the Young Justice cartoon, but I admit I haven't seen every episode. Maybe in the Justice League cartoon, they're saying that it can't be defeated, all this shit.
No, they did it in the comic books.
When?
The New 52 time. So during the New 52.
Hold on.
And this is hold on. You gotta understand first.
Please explain.
Let me give you some context.
Because in the first Justice League fucking run, the first 6 issues, they took out Darkseid.
Whoa. All right. Now, let me explain here.
Okay.
How the new Darkseid works.
Okay, please do.
So, first of all, you have to understand that all of Darkseid's greatest feats happen off panels. So this is probably why you don't remember them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an off-panel character.
Okay.
So you don't actually get to see him win. You just kind of get some expository dialogue.
You just get told that he
this
wins.
This one time he won. Now he's better. So there's this picture of a being kind of Darkseid-ish falling, right? And they talk about how apparently he went to war with the universe and he lost. So this is the first L of the book. Starts off with an L. Okay. But apparently this isn't his end. So now, but reality is pained or the multiverse is now hurting after this battle, right? So what ends up happening is blah, blah, blah. Grail, this new character, one of the daughters of a Darkseid.
Oh, are you talking about the Darkseid War?
Yeah.
Oh, where Darkseid dies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this apparent war, what ends up happening, and they try to show in this, is Darkseid comes through and he's all multiversal and shit, right?
Okay.
Because of after this, war happened, he became more powerful.
Yeah.
Right, for taking the L. So his L gained him more power somehow. So he shows up and then immediately takes another L to the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah.
Right? Because, he's multiversal now and super powerful. So he immediately takes another L. But apparently after that, what Darkseid fans really appreciate is he was able to come back to life because it wasn't really like, of course he couldn't phase the Anti-Monitor. He had to wait till the Anti-Monitor left. Yeah. So it's like that dude who gets hit in the face, right? He's knocked out until everybody leave. Then he gets up and starts talking shit again. So what he does is he gets back up, showing that he's not dead, and then he kills Zeus, who, of course, is a vastly less powerful character than the Anti-Monitor, and definitely not multiversal. Okay. So
I'm still waiting to hear why people think Darkseid. I'm like, okay. Well,
so in this pile of confusion, we're supposed to now believe the Darkseid is badass.
Did we get to the part where Darkseid was killed yet?
Well, he got killed twice in this. There's 2 L's taken in this.
I don't think that he died again in Darkseid War because what's his name killed him. Flash killed him. He's dead, and then he gets born again, and that's the baby that we see in
probably an Avatar baby.
Yeah, and Metal and DC Metal and DC Metal. That's what
Metal
we're seeing.
ended, right?
I don't know anymore. But I don't know because they're still talking about it in Justice League. I'm like, wait, okay. Well, I mean, I have nothing against it. I'm not trying to diss DC. I just kind of like, okay, can we move on from that? Like, we're still talking about the Darkverse and this and that.
Well, because now everybody's multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
So, like, Superman is, like, 6th dimension now.
Oh, man.
Which I guess makes mental plane kind of, like, completely useless.
So, anyways, I'm still waiting to this day, it's been almost a week now, and I'm still waiting to this day for someone to tell me why is Darkseid just unbeatable ever? Even though I have comics where he's been defeated. Numerous comics. And people keep saying, well, New 52 my ass, the first fucking Justice League issues, they took out the Darkseid. They took out Darkseid first. So I'm just kind of like, wait, where did this narrative come from? I'm confused.
Well, because Darkseid keeps showing up.
Okay. But he
So
still gets
obviously he's not
defeated.
beaten. In DC land, that means you're not beaten.
Aha.
Yeah.
I guess.
For example, people don't think Superman lost to Doomsday because Superman, technically, his conscience, even though it was beaten out of his body, was still somehow there for a bit and was able to reconstitute himself.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, that's not a loss. Even though, technically, those same people will say that Superman killed Doomsday if you ask if Superman's killed anybody out there.
It's ridiculous.
Because Superman technically has never killed Doomsday.
Well, my thing is exactly. My thing is this. You know, people say that. You know, that was another thing because I said Superman doesn't kill, and then they showed the Darkseid fight him versus Doomsday when Superman died. I'm like, Doomsday didn't die. That's why Eradicator had to throw him to the fucking sun because that nigga was still alive.
He didn't have to. He chose to because remember it wasn't Eradicator, it was Cyborg Superman.
Was it Cyborg
Remember,
Superman? Okay, it was Cyborg Superman.
Also planted the thing on his back for him to kill because he knew Doomsday couldn't die.
Right, exactly.
Here's what happens to Doomsday. Because Doomsday has no internal organ, which means his cell structure just recomposes itself. When Doomsday is defeated, he basically goes into a coma-like state. His so-called deaths, as they like to call them, because of how his initial origin worked. Mm-hmm. And then he basically just wakes up with his new adaptations.
And now he can't be killed the same way he was last time.
So if you ever want to make the Superman killing him argument, you can kind of go closer to 0 Hour, even though it technically never happened because they beat 0 Hour.
Yeah.
Or you can go to when Imperiex actually did kill Doomsday by completely deatomizing him, meaning there's nothing left to regrow.
Well, you skipped the part where Superman just beat the fuck out of him. Superman beat the shit out of Doomsday.
Oh, you're talking about when he was
and when All Worlds at War.
Yeah. At the end of it, right?
It was during it. He just beat the shit because Imperiex used Doomsday, didn't he?
No.
Well,
Lex Luthor and them had Doomsday on lock, and they fought side by side.
Okay.
Until Imperiex finally killed Doomsday.
Okay.
Because what ended up happening was they were like, we're gonna finally unleash, and Doomsday beat up Steel in them.
I remember that.
On the way out.
I remember that.
He beat up, but they fought side by side against Imperiex.
Well, here's my thing.
They didn't fight each other. They fought each other after Worlds at War.
Here's my issue. This isn't even about who would win. Because, like, Mr. Whatever say, right here, he said who will win is or not is all a matter of preference. Okay, fine. Here's the deal. I'm all for the conversation who will win between Darkseid and Thanos. Even though we all know Thanos will win. But that's okay. I'm open for the conversation. My problem is niggas' answers were just complete bullshit. We're just like no one could give me a reason why Darkseid would win. They would just say Darkseid would win. Okay, tell me more. Well, he's hella powerful. Okay.
You guys don't get the Darkseid is multiversal. Oh, you telling me Thanos hasn't found ways to beat multiversal entities? You haven't read the Cancerverse. They're like, oh, well, Thanos without the stones ain't shit. Obviously, you've never read any Thanos storylines. Thanos literally had the glove one time.
Why do people keep saying that?
Because people only know what they wiki.
Because even in the movies, the first thing he did in Infinity War was fuck up Thor and Hulk.
No, let's take one step back. Let's take one step back by going one step forward. 2014 Thanos pulled up with no gems and fought Thor with Hammer and Yarborough. Or Stormbreaker, sorry, in the movie. Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
He fought Iron Man and Nano.
Yeah.
And he fought Cap. And here's the best part. This was a Thanos with no battle experience against them because he came from the past. They all had fought Thanos already. Twice. So they all had all the upper hand. All the motherfuckers caught Faye.
Yeah, absolutely. He was fucking them all up.
Keep it 100.
I can make arguments all day, and people keep saying, oh, well, Darkseid killed gods before. And I'm like, yeah, so it's Thanos.
Oh, off panel.
Off panel.
Don't forget off panel. Thanos has done it on panel.
Aha! Okay, Kaiju said Superman has killed before. He killed the alternate. That was true. You're absolutely right. That was the one time he did do it. But what I mean with why he doesn't kill is just because he killed one time, that doesn't mean he's a killer.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that that's a thing that he does.
Yeah. We were like, no, and that's what the whole purpose is it's basically an argument around the Man of Steel movie and him killing Zod. And the idea is that when you do the first Superman movie, you shouldn't have him killing somebody because justifying it by, let's say, 5 times in a character who literally has thousands of books.
Yeah.
Where the majority of which he doesn't kill. It's like a less than 1% of the time kind of concept. Doing that sets a precedent that it's okay for him to kill when the vast majority of time he doesn't. It's like saying, look, I tripped 10 times in my life. I'm 37 years old. Does that make me somebody who's automatically clumsy because I've tripped 10 times? No. If I can say I trip once a week throughout 37 years, you can say that's a common fucking thing for me.
Yeah, I think my problem with with Superman snapping the neck was that was the first thing he did as Superman. Like he literally, the costume hasn't even had its first rip yet, and he already murking niggas. Like that's my issue.
He literally just showed up to Superman that episode. Like he was like 35 and still questioning what he was going to do with his life.
Like he's still questioning shit. Yeah. So you set that precedent. So now people expect him to do that all the time now.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
Why would he ever have any villains? Lex Luthor, snap. All right, moving on.
So I feel the same way about Batman. Here's one of my issues about Batman's villains. I like, and this is a good segue. But I say Spider-Man's villains are better than Batman's villains. The reason why I say that is that Spider-Man's villains, he gotta fight these niggas.
Yep.
Batman can fuck up 90% of his villains. Fist to fist, they all going down.
I mean, and you're talking about not even just Penguin or Joker. Like you're talking about Killer Croc. He just be beating the shit out of Killer Croc on a weekly thing. Poor Waylon. Poor Waylon just get beat up.
Joker getting his fade palm.
Well, no, not all the time.
Which is bullshit, but we'll go for it.
I know what you're saying.
Which is bullshit, but that's okay. Riddler getting his fade palm.
Penguin.
Fade palm. Two-Face. Fade palm. Zaz. Fade palm. Like all these niggas getting fucked up. All of them.
Kite Man, Calendar Man.
They're all getting fucked up. They're all getting Mr. Pig, Professor Pig, getting fucked up. All these niggas.
Entire issue is locating these niggas. As soon as he
finds you gotta find them. Just find these niggas. And they're all fucked up. They're all getting their asses beat. Every single one of them. Spider-Man gotta fight these niggas. He gotta fight Doc Ock. He gotta fight the Vulture. He gotta fight Electro. He gotta fight these niggas.
How do I stop this? How do I stop Sandman? How do I stop Hydro Man? This motherfucker is made out of sand and water.
I gotta fight these niggas.
Batman's hardest one is Clayface. Clayface is not work.
Clayface and Bane.
Even Bane is this nigga with steroids.
And he's fucked Bane up before. Bane just caught him off guard that one time. That's what I'm saying.
Bro, you better get back on that CrossFit.
But this is a good segue. So recently, Joker was shown, and when I mean recently, I mean a few hours ago. There's a film festival going on overseas. Joker was shown.
The new film coming out October 4th in theaters near you, starring. Oh damn it! I had a good segue going in there. What's that dude's name again? Joaquin Phoenix. I don't want to call him Jake Gyllenhaal right now for some reason because they both play really good menacing people.
Yeah.
But yes, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Yeah, I'm being told that it's great. I'm being told that it's visceral, that it is jarring, and that it's something you're gonna want to watch a bunch of times.
Yes, it is. It is what I would say is probably the third Joker movie in the DC franchise.
The third?
The third. The one that they called Batman in 1989, where Jack Nicholson guest starring Michael Keaton.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't get me wrong, I love Michael Keaton's Batman, but let's be 100. It's
Did Jack Nicholson steal the show?
Jack Nicholson stole the show, supported with a beautiful album by Prince, whose Joker songs were far better than any Batman songs.
Facts.
And then the Christopher Nolan Joker feature called The Dark Knight.
Yeah, well, that was definitely a Joker film.
That was 100% Joker.
Well, yeah. So the thing that I'm being told and what it's sounding like to me is that usually when the Joker is featured in a film, he steals the role. He steals the shine. Mm-hmm. Except for Jared Leto.
Who?
Oh, don't do that.
That movie was suicide from the title.
Ah, shit. Yeah, fair enough.
They were trying to kill themselves again.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna say
have you noticed Suicide Squad is directed by a dude named Gunn now?
Absolutely. Jack was definitely carrying that movie, so much so that critics were arguing that he should get the Best Actor nod instead of Best Supporting Actor.
Facts.
I can't argue that.
He really was.
Jack Nicholson did kind of kill it, actually, now that I think about it. Like, when I think of that Batman movie, the first thing I think of is the Joker.
Yep.
The most quotable lines were from the Joker. Where did they get a load of me?
Where did you get those wonderful toys?
Yeah, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale blue light?
Yeah, I mean...
Wait a minute.
It was a Joker
So
film.
was Batman 89 or 88?
89.
Was it 89? Okay. Batman 89. Was Batman 89 really just Joker 89?
Yeah.
But I can say the same thing about Batman Returns. Mekhi Phifer and Penguin stole that role.
Yeah, but that was two characters. That just goes to show kind of the title.
So let me ask you,
who is better? Are you better than your own Rose?
So let me ask you this: is Batman's popularity 100% based on his villains?
I would say yes and no.
Talk to me.
I would say it's based on his supporting cast, in the sense that I know a lot of people who start out in Batman, and they are bigger Robin fans, bigger fans of his supporting characters that have been around him. I mean, think about Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy. I mean, Batman's fame, I think, is all his supporting cast. I think it started with his rogues. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of big Catwoman fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like I said, the Poison Ivy, the Harley Quinn, the Joker, the Bane fans. I mean, I think he has a big following solely because of his rogues and supporting class.
I can agree 100%.
Aside from Duke.
Who?
See? Nobody followed that.
Who the fuck is Duke? Anyways.
Can't help his brothers.
I don't know who that Duke is. I don't know her. Anyways, I can agree 100%. I feel like it's the other way around with Spider-Man. I think people like Spidey. They like him. But with Batman, I think that they like his relationship with his villains.
Because I think Gotham is...
Well, Gotham's a character
Gotham
itself.
is a character parallel to Batman in that kind of way.
I can agree.
I think, don't get me wrong, I think Batman started out as good. He started out as interesting. But like I said, it's much like, have you seen Mindhunter?
Yes.
Okay. Big part of Mindhunter. The main character guy, not the more interesting his partner, one who's like more of a normal guy.
Yeah, I got
But the main one who's like all into... He's not an interesting character as far as the way the actor's being portrayed. But what he's dealing with is interesting. And it becomes more interesting when he's in his element dealing with it. And I think Batman's kind of the same. Where Batman on his own has kind of gotten to a point where you're not so much following the character as you are following what he does.
Okay.
You're following the detective work in the stories. But because your interest is, who is this villain? What is this villain doing?
I agree.
And I think that, Batman's kind of more of a tool in his own equation than he is a character. Where, like you said, Spider-Man feels very different.
No, absolutely. MTF says, I think that his popularity is based on his character, but it's sustained by his stellar supporting cast.
And I think I can see that to a degree because I think the detective character is very popular.
Well, I think that the detective part of Batman has been missing for years.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
I think they've done it some in the writing, but they haven't been doing it as much with the character.
Okay.
And so in the case that like they give us, and I think this is one of the reasons why his villains feel so much better, is they show us a lot of his villains without having Batman detect these things about the villains. So they'll give you a lot of expository dialogue, tell you about what the villain's kind of doing in the background, give you hints as to the villain, and then they just show Batman showing up somewhere with like 90 different tools. He doesn't actually have to do a lot of the legwork anymore. He just kind of shows up in the spots like I already know this and
I already know what's going on.
moves on.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. Well, it's sad white boy season. Hashtag. Sad white boy season. I don't know if I'm going to go see the Joker movie in theaters. I'm pussy. I'll admit. I'm pussy. White people scare me. I don't think that this movie is going to be accepted as well in America. Everywhere else, they're gonna love it.
We love serial killers and crazy people. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Look
no,
how big Mindhunters got.
you're not wrong. You're
We
not
love that
wrong.
shit. We make you famous.
But I mean, I hate to bring it up, but look at what happened in Aurora, Colorado, with the Dark Knight film.
Oh, believe this. If I go see it, I'm going to see it at least a week or so after it comes out. I'm going to go see that shit Thursday night, prior to the Friday night crowds. Because fuck all that shit. I don't trust white people either.
I don't trust white people. I don't trust y'all. I'm sorry to all the white
And
followers and
anybody who
fans.
shows up, the moment I see somebody...
I don't trust y'all niggas, man. I don't.
Don't wear no Joker paint. I'm leaving the theater. Get my money back.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but sad white boy season is upon us. And
Joker speaks to me.
yeah, oh man. If you think I'm lying, start looking at some of the comments on YouTube.
Because there's people, and that's the thing is, there's people out there who feel like that. Who feel like, they're just sad and alone in the world and, there's nothing out there. They don't want to get help.
I'm hearing Fight Club 2.0.
Makes sense.
That's terrible for right now. That's not a good thing.
Can we get this, Matt Reeves, can we get this Batman movie out quick? so
I
they
mean-
believe there's opposition.
Now, my question to you is should this be the way that DC goes from here on out?
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of people are saying, well, I want to see a comic book film that doesn't use a lot of CGI, blah, 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 blah. I get what they're saying.
People have problems with something that was normally drawn being in CGI.
Yeah. Well, people are stupid. We all know that.
This is one of the weirdest flexes I've ever heard. I know it was technically a form of animation before, but I don't want to see that shit animated because I respect the medium. Fucking brilliant. I
don't know either. This whole situation's crazy. I'm just scared. I'm nervous because there's a crazy white boy right now who's probably planning some shit, and I'm scared. He's somewhere in America, but that shit don't happen nowhere else.
He's in the White House. His name is Donald Trump. He's excited.
It's not Donald Trump, but the person who might do it is probably a Donald Trump supporter. Absolutely.
He's just a little Donald Trump. Little baby boy.
I mean, I'm
Trump
just
and the
saying.
trumpets.
The trumpets.
We drove down the street by where we used to live. Those apartments. You know over there?
That we used to live at, yeah.
Yep. And one of the houses, because was like American flags up and down the street. Right?
Oh, the guy who
the Trump flag.
Yeah, the Trump flag. That guy scares me. That guy frightens me. There's a guy that lives by us. He has cardboard cutouts of Trump and Melania, and he waves Trump flags. He got
like a real life, like the size of American flag formed into with Trump's face a flag that you can fly next to the American flag on your house.
Yeah. That guy scares me. Because I'm like, that dude will shoot my ass. He will shoot me and feel nothing. That dude scares me. I get exactly what you're saying. But I bet you...
Never. Anything I lose on his lawn is lost forever.
Oh, yeah, that's gone. That's it. I'm like, well, I just got to get another one.
I cross the street. No
yeah, that dude makes me cross the street.
Yep.
I cross the street if I had to walk past his house.
I took my wallet. I cross the street. I'll pre-call the police.
One of my daughter's
give
friends...
my location, what I'm doing.
One of my daughter's friends lives by that dude. And every time she talks about she need a ride, I'm like, girl, you better get an Uber. I'm not going over there.
Your friend could come here.
Yeah, no, she comes over and she would like, you better get your mom to come get your ass. I'm not going over there. That dude scares me. That dude scares me. Meet me at the McDonald's or some shit.
Like, territory.
Like, goddamn, get the fuck out of here. MTF says if it's critically acclaimed but only makes $250 million, I doubt they'll make that the template. I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know. I look at it like this. I think that DC could do something unique right now. And this is what I think that they could do moving forward. Is they could simply do a bunch of movies with interesting solo characters, build kind of on the template of what works for a more extended universe if they want to go that route again. But they're in the unique position right now where you can kind of do a lot of individual stuff. You have a lot of characters right now that can kind of shine on their own, both heroes and villains. For example, I know a lot of people want a Green Lantern movie. You could do Sinestro. Or you could do a Corpse movie. You could give Sinestro a try. Black Adam is another character where I'm sure...
they're trying to do Black Adam.
Yeah, they're already in the talks of doing Black Adam, but Black Adam's a character where Black Adam could do his own thing, and that'll make him better when he shows up later in the Shazam feature.
Well, Willie Beeman says this will mess up DC momentum if the movie is trash. I'm being told it's not. I'm being told by credible people that it's pretty good. They're just scared.
Yeah, even if it is trash, it's not going to mess up DC.
Right.
It's separate.
Aquaman and Shazam was legit. I agree. The only difference is this Joker is not in that same universe.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. This is allowed to fail. That's how they set it up.
True. That's true.
They set it up to be allowed to fail because they're like, look, we already distanced ourselves way before it came out, so it's not part of the connected. It stands on its own. Doesn't even have Batman. They released it at a smart time because they've already announced the Batman actor and the Batman movie's coming. So you already know you're getting something different. So I don't think it will slow down the momentum.
Here's my question: would you like to see more Batman villain origin movies? Or not even just Batman. Like, I think they could make a bomb-ass Lex Luthor movie.
No on the Lex Luthor movie.
Huh?
I said no on the Lex Luthor movie.
Okay, why not? Why not on the Lex movie?
Lex Luthor, to me, he's always seemed fairly one-dimensional. In his end goal, he's one-dimensional, but that opens him up to other sub-dimensions. So if you technically don't have Superman, Lex Luthor is a fucking great dude.
I don't know, man. I can see. No, you're not wrong. But no, let's play off of that. I like how, what's his name wrote him? Brian Azzarello in the Lex Luthor comic book, where basically we show this guy who has all the potential in the world. He has all this potential, all this great shit. And then Superman shows up. They don't even have to cast Superman. Here's the cool part. They don't even have to cast Superman. We don't even need to see him in the film. Just the fact that he exists. And then all of a sudden, Lex starts crumbling. He comes up with all these great ideas. He comes up with all this great shit. Everyone's like, who gives a shit? We're talking about Superman now. Have like him being ready to accept a big award and they decide to give that to Superman. Show the fall of a man. I would watch the shit out of that.
But
talk to me.
This is why I don't think that we've truly gotten a good Lex Luthor. Is that's all stuff you show in the Superman.
I don't know.
That is because that is how you develop Lex as a villain. I think Lex as a villain, Lex should appear. So if I was writing a Superman trilogy, Lex would appear in the first film and wouldn't be a villain until the second film. And here's why. you need to show Lex integrated with the world. Lex needs to seem like a savior to people.
Yeah.
And you need to show how a Superman being directly affects.
Why
Lex
can't you
being,
do that in the Lex
showing
role?
the Messiah complex? But I think that develops over time. I don't think you get that without Superman much in a single Lex Luthor movie.
We're going to have to agree to disagree then, because we've seen Superman before. We've seen the Superman movie. We've seen Lex featured in the Superman movie.
And I think that this goes back, we'll take it back.
Okay.
It goes back to like The Dark Knight. You need a Superman movie where Superman does kind of fill background and Lex is able to shine, but it still would be a Superman movie. You still need to have enough Superman.
But they did that with the Joker.
That's what I'm saying. And what are the two of the best Batman movies? Are Joker movies.
I can agree with that, but now,
but because you had the antagonist there.
But now Joker's getting his own film, so that's what I'm saying. Why can't we do the same for Lex?
Because I don't think we've gotten good enough Lex yet. Where we have that with Joker. Joker's been there and he's done enough that you could fill in the Batman parts. I don't think we've gotten that with Lex outside of the books, which is why I think a book could work. But I don't think
the book is good.
I don't think a movie could work the same.
The Brian Azzarello Lee Bermejo, I think his last name is pronounced, Lex Luthor run. Why are we talking about DC when we hate DC?
Oh, well, I've never read DC, so
I don't read
on Wiki
either.
earlier.
I mean, I guess.
I was on Wiki earlier.
I mean, this is a very DC-centric episode, but the consensus that the audience is saying, I guess, is that we hate DC. That's so weird to me.
Oh, well, we did say Spider-Man earlier.
We did? Oh, yeah, you're right. And you were in a Marvel hat.
Yeah.
Aha!
And we talked about Thanos. We did say Thanos is going to be Darkseid.
Aha!
Yeah, so fuck DC.
Aha! Even though I'm wearing a DC shirt. That's okay. That's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just work here. I guess.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Let's see what the crowd say. I've been asking for Red Hood. Why? Why do people like Red Hood?
Oh, by the way.
Aha!
That book he was talking about earlier.
Great shit, by the way.
Our Worlds of War.
Suck it. Our Worlds of War was
Somebody
fucking
just
great.
brought this here.
Someone just slid it underneath. Our Worlds of War was fucking
Because
great.
speaking of this, Luthor was president. And
Yeah,
this
that
is
was when
one of the
Luthor was
kind of
president.
storylines where you get to see Luthor not just doing the best for humanity, but also trying to take little gouges of
shit.
Superman.
That was also when Wonder Woman had that armor. That shit was dope.
Yep.
That shit was dope.
Let's see.
Good shit. That was great. That was great. Ed McGuinness art. Let's see what they're saying. Make this comic the movie you're talking about, Lex
Yeah,
Luthor.
see?
Yeah.
Right here, because remember, Doomsday fucks up Steel, and they eventually let him out. Then he goes out into space, and he's fighting alongside.
Yeah.
So they're fighting the little Imperiex drones until the real Imperiex shows up.
So it was our Worlds of War. I was saying, was that our Worlds of War?
Yeah, it was in World War, but he didn't fight Doomsday. So after this, in one of the Fallout stories, he does fight Doomsday
in front of the president, right?
Yeah, and he
or maybe not in this one. First things first, rest in peace, Mike Wieringo. Good old Mike Wieringo art.
Rest in peace.
And yes, that Red Hood is the closest people can get to Batman Punisher. You misspelled Winter Soldier.
Oh. Yeah, pretty much. Or you misspelled Moon Knight.
Hey yo, you know what's funny? And now we're gonna get the hate from the DC people again. So now, every now and then, the DC haters like to choose a character from Marvel and just go in on this character out of nowhere. And it feels incredibly ungenuine.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, y'all don't care this much about Moon Knight. Knock it the fuck off.
Nobody cares about Moon Knight.
Knock it the fuck. No. Moon Knight has fans. Moon Knight he is the cult hero. And what I mean by cult is his followers are diehard. But they're very small. But they're still diehard as fuck. I mean, Moon Knight has had more redos and revamps than probably anybody in history.
Well, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's nuts. But now the thing is, because I posted this thing and I said, now that we're getting the Moon Knight show, we could talk about mental health and superhero with superheroics. I said this is a thing that can be done in a way never been done before. So now all the DC people come out of that network out of nowhere. Well, you didn't watch Legion. First of all, I don't even know where to begin with this. First of all, when is Legion a hero? Second of all, isn't he kind of villainous?
Well, here's let's go down third. Because I saw one of these tweets. They said, "Oh yeah, you guys didn't watch Legion. You guys weren't following it or anything like that."
I watched every episode, but
yeah, like we talked about it multiple times on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We praised it as a show,
mm-hmm.
and obviously you didn't watch Legion because y'all motherfuckers would know that he ain't nowhere near a hero like
at
that's
all.
At
all. At all.
Like, hold up. Self-preservation is not a heroic act.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That nigga had a brain parasite. That was another motherfucker.
And there was another guy. Yeah, exactly. Motherfucker in his head. Now, here's the thing. I like Legion so much, I asked him a question about the show, and he answered it live. Boom. Don't give me no shit.
Yeah.
I like Legion. That's number one. Number two, Legion is very adult. Very adult. Moon Knight won't be. It'll be on Disney Plus.
It'll be adult.
You think so? It's on Disney Plus.
Okay.
It's not gonna be adult.
What's your point?
It's not gonna be adult. That's my point.
People forget Disney's done and owned Rated R Studios.
You're right.
And it's gonna be a Marvel Studio production.
You're right.
Disney Plus
but that won't be on the Disney Plus. They're gonna keep the hardcore shit on Hulu.
If it's animated, it won't be that violent.
They're gonna keep the hardcore shit on Hulu. They're gonna keep it on Hulu. Which
is The Mandalorian gonna be on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Does it look like it's friendly?
It doesn't mean that it's gonna be
hardcore.
It doesn't gonna be hardcore. It doesn't gonna be. It doesn't mean it's gonna be hardcore.
Right?
It doesn't mean it's gonna be hardcore.
I can throw crescents at people.
It doesn't mean it's going to be hardcore. It's gonna be PG-13.
You can do pretty hardcore stuff with PG-13.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
You can. But it's gonna be limited. There won't be as much blood.
PG-13 is good enough.
They've already said that Disney Plus is going to be PG-13 and below.
You can get a Batman level character with Moon Knight.
I agree. But it's not going to be like as hardcore as maybe he should.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't going to be Punisher like we'd imagine.
But that's what I'm saying.
He ain't going to be like Netflix
can we agree that the Legion show would not be on Disney Plus?
Legion would not be on Disney.
Exactly. That's what I mean by it. As in, like, the shit they do in Legion is not going to be on Disney Plus. On Disney Plus, they can actually talk about some real shit regarding Moon Knight, how mental health is a hot button right now, but people are talking about it more and more and more. This is something, because, like, Moon Knight is, like, fucked up in the head. Like, Like, I don't think it's ever been fully determined that Khonshu is real. I mean, Khonshu is a god that existed, but we still don't know if
Moon Knight's fucking with
Moon Knight, yeah, exactly. Like, we don't know if Moon Knight is actually talking to Khonshu.
Well, and that's a very big difference that I think people need to understand with Moon Knight versus Legion is Moon Knight is fucked up in the head. Mm-hmm. Legion's head got fucked up. Like, there's a huge difference there.
Yeah.
Like, one is legitimately trying to control his almost godlike mutant powers after severe mental trauma implanted personalities, and then split those personalities tons of times into his head prior to him even understanding that he was a mutant yet. And he has then an absent father who could totally help him, but kind of doesn't really got time for that because it would take some work.
Exactly.
And so you have another one who legit has mental issues and is a human who believes that he sees a god. And has decided in this that he's going to also be a superhero and save people. Legion is literally just still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Exactly.
Any person he saves is part of his self-preservation. Because
yeah.
there's somebody who's probably recently helped him.
Exactly.
You can go to any storylines of Legion. All he's done is made shit worse. That motherfucker's literally removed the X-Men from reality multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean, Age of Apocalypse was partly
Age of Apocalypse, yeah.
you remember that storyline where he created like the Isle of X or something like that, and it was like he just basically trapped mutants on an island or in their own little world, and then they had to beat him to get the fuck out. Every time Legion showing up, there's a problem. He's nowhere near a hero. He's at best like a small catastrophe.
He's just in the way.
Yeah. Moon Knight may be crazy, but he's crazy trying to save people.
Yeah. And it's actually because of a mental thing and not because he has mutant powers that kind of drives him crazy. Like, he really does just have mental problems.
Yeah.
I think that's a great aspect to the character. I think that can be explored a lot on the show. I have a theory.
Okay. Shoot.
I don't think... what's his name here? Your Stitch, whatever. He said an anti-hero. No, he's a hero. He's a hero. He's not anti.
Who?
Moon Knight. I don't even know what an anti-hero is. Probably the closest to an anti-hero, I would say, is Punisher.
No. Punisher is technically a hero.
How?
Here's an anti-hero. An anti-hero would be somebody like Deadpool, and for a long time Harley Quinn. Meaning that they, or even you could almost say in some cases Thanos has played an anti-hero. Meaning they will serve the side of the perceived good if it serves their needs. So like the times where Thanos shows up, like, nigga, you gonna eat my reality too, blood. Like, I live here too.
Oh shit!
Like, look, if you were just trying to take over the planet, rule over the universe, great. But nigga, you trying to eat my reality?
You trying to eat my reality?
I don't know.
I got you.
I
get what you're
That's
saying.
where you consider an anti-hero.
I get what you're saying.
Like, because you have to think about it. Our police would be considered heroes, and police do kill bad guys sometimes.
They kill good guys too. No, that's another conversation.
Yeah,
that's another combo.
Not all of them are heroes.
Another combo. Another combo.
But I'm saying, like, a police officer doing their job.
Okay.
Can be perceived to kill a bad guy.
Yeah.
Punisher is a person who does kill bad guys. You can't necessarily say, but here's the thing. He does not kill good guys. He goes out of his way to make sure that he doesn't kill good guys, and he's killing people who are doing harm to the world.
But here's my problem. He kills people because he wants to and he likes to. Not because he's trying to save lives. He doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't care about any of that shit.
But here's the thing.
He just kills
niggas. If you were to
niggas.
put him in a police officer uniform, give him a little bit of leeway, he's no different. Well, here's the thing. Is he any different than James Bond?
Yeah!
How?
First of all...
James Bond kills a lot more people than he needs to.
No, that's true.
And he loves doing what he do.
James Bond is he's doing a job. That's number one.
So? Clean our streets up at his job?
Punisher ain't getting paid for this shit.
He get bread all the time.
He don't get bread though, but he doesn't get paid for this shit. That was my only.
The citizens asked Punisher. Punisher.
That was my only issue with Welcome Back, Frank. Was in the first issue he killed all those people, and then he burned the money. That pissed me off. Punisher doesn't burn the money. How you think he buys bullets and guns? Nigga, like
that's operational funding.
Is the Punisher as racist as Hawkeye?
Punisher is an equal opportunity murderer.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is Italian. He's killed plenty of Italians.
He's killed many Italians.
He's killed more Italians than anything else.
I think he's killed more Italians. Italians and Irish niggas. Like,
he's getting all of them out. He don't give a fuck.
But anyways,
the Punisher is colorblind. Specifically based on what you do with your life.
Let me see here.
Is it Godzilla considered an anti-hero? Godzilla's more of a hero because Godzilla's entire purpose is to do. Godzilla's not a self-serving being.
Is he serving anybody?
Yes, he is. Well, think about it. Monster shows up, starts destroying the city. Godzilla shows up, stops the monster. Godzilla goes home after that.
Yeah, but Godzilla don't give a shit.
But here's the thing: Godzilla cares when things come up and start fucking up the top.
Godzilla's only doing what the Earth is telling it to do,
which is something that preserves the Earth. Thus preserves life. Thus is considered a hero.
A hero is just doing what needs to be done.
Is he going out of his way to kill people?
He's doing what here's what I mean.
Okay, then he's not a hero or an anti-hero. Then he's a force of nature. Like
we can agree with that. We can agree with that absolutely. We can agree with that absolutely. Because to me, the form of a hero means the act, like the reasoning in the act. If a nigga kills somebody and I get pissed off and I go kill him, I'm not a hero. I just did some shit that I felt needed to
But
be
here's
done.
the thing: if a nigga's going around killing people, and then you kill that same nigga, you're a hero.
But I didn't do it because he killed a bunch of people. I did it because he killed someone I cared about.
But the people who are still alive have you to thank for.
Damn it, anyways.
It's a hero.
Anyways,
But at the same time, like
this
you
is
said,
a whole
it makes you an
nother-
anti-hero
this
because
is
it's
a-
self-serving.
Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
becomes your motivation made it self-serving.
I can agree with
but that's
that.
what I'm saying is Punisher does it because Punisher doesn't want it to happen to anybody else. Punisher was put on the wrong side of the track, but it's the one thing Punisher's good at. So he said, "Look, I'm gonna make sure you guys can't do this shit to other people."
I can argue that. I can argue that. And the reason why I say that is because at this point, Punisher's just doing it because he wants to.
Punisher's doing it because y'all motherfuckers ain't changed yet.
Because he wants to kill people. That's it. He wants to kill people. That's what he does. Like you said, that's the one thing he's good at. Anyways, let me get to my point. We're getting off subject. No, it's okay. It's okay. I like it when we go on tangents like that. I have a theory.
Okay.
That if it wasn't for Sony's announcement about taking Spider-Man back, we wouldn't have got the Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk announcements.
I disagree.
Talk to me. I don't think we would have gotten them. I think that this was a good PR stunt on Marvel's behalf, where Marvel said, we need to get these people talking about something.
Yes and no.
Talk to me.
I would say I can see how they felt about that, but I think Marvel's playing the long game. I think Marvel would have gave us both, because Marvel has shown that we can have our cake and eat it too. There's no reason not, if they kept Spider-Man, there's no reason not to give us Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and that kind of stuff. And here's why.
Talk to me.
Disney's smart enough to see one of the places where I think DC Universe failed with their streaming service is that you need content up front. So they needed shows no matter what. Spider-Man's Movieverse. That's a whole different project, whole different thing. But at the same time, I think they also know that it coincided with the same time that they're going to be having these renewal conversations about Spider-Man and moving forward. So I think in the long game play, they're going to have this no matter what. Because
I think so. I think
they
so.
had to go, but at the same time, I think, look, they could give us both. Because they know that, the Netflix stuff ran concurrently with the movies. Money to be had on both sides.
I get what you're saying. I still think that these were planned in the long run. I think that they went ahead and fast-tracked it because of this. And the reason why I say this, because if you notice, with this whole Spider-Man situation, Disney has been very quiet about it. They've been very quiet about it.
You know why? Because, like I said, I don't think it's a hostile thing for them.
Oh, no. Well, you never let them... Here's the deal. No, you're not wrong, and I don't mean to interrupt you. But I think people need to understand, people were saying, well, Spider-Man is the #1 hero in the world. I can agree with that. But you know what's bigger than Spider-Man? The MCU.
Yeah.
The MCU as a whole is bigger than Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree.
And to prove that point, Spider-Man made $1 billion. But Captain Marvel and Black Panther made more.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this. You got to look at this. You made a city out of gold. Beautiful. But we made a country out of... We made a country out of steel. And you may have a lot of value in your little gold city. But we have more in our giant-ass steel country. It's just the way it works.
Let me. You're absolutely right. You're right.
They took these characters. Because don't get me wrong, Spider-Man is still gold.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man is still #1 hero in the world. But like I said, they took all these B characters. Like I said, 10 years ago, a Captain America movie making over $1 billion. Shut the fuck up.
I agree.
As a Batman, I would have lost every day.
Right.
Iron Man, same deal. You couldn't have told me these things. And now, they're everywhere.
I agree.
Avengers is a household name.
I agree. No, you're absolutely right. I'm just reading the comments here. Willie Beeman says Disney was wrong fucking with Sony. Let me set the record straight. Disney didn't fuck with Sony. Sony doesn't want to fuck with Disney anymore.
Sony can't pay the tab.
No, it's not that they can't. They don't want to. And you know what? That's their prerogative. People forget Amy Pascal. I think I'm probably butchering her last name. She was the one that ushered in the whole Sony Marvel MCU deal. She left. She's gone. She's at Universal, which I don't think is coincidental.
And she has her own production studio now, Pascal Productions.
Well, no, here's the deal. I don't think it's coincidental that now, all of a sudden, MCU can get She-Hulk.
Yep.
Because
She knows how to make these deals.
Because it was Universal that was holding back. Yep. Universal was the one that was trying not to play.
They needed somebody to come over and tell them, hey, here's something called free money.
Let me see here. It says, you don't think Disney is not asking for too much? Disney didn't ask for too much. Disney wanted... Here's the deal. This is facts. Because a lot of numbers are being thrown around. It wasn't 50-50. Disney asked for 25.
That's too much for Sony.
That's too much for Sony, but you know what the deal is? I don't think that was a bad deal. I don't think that Disney is asking for too much when they're doing all the work. I don't think they're asking for too much.
When they're asking for, and they very specifically, to my understanding, this contract, they wanted Feige. There's a very specific tie for Feige to be part of this contract to make this deal work. Mm-hmm. When you're talking about taking time from somebody who's on the producer credits of the biggest movie release, has released billion-dollar after billion-dollar after billion-dollar film, and you're telling me that you want to pay him the same amount you agreed to, what, 6 years ago?
3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Yeah.
You gonna tell me that he gonna take that same check? That's like coming in and saying, hey, look, I worked at McDonald's. I brought McDonald's from a billion to a trillion customers for the things that I did, and then being like, yeah, nigga, you still making minimum wage. Hell no.
Hell the fuck no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
They were totally in the right to ask for more money. Sony, obviously, because their studio pulls in a little less than $8 to $9 billion a year for their production, for their film studio, you can't take a big ass chunk out of one, what is it, like 1/8 of your entire, or what is that? Like 10% of your entire gross revenue? 10 or more percent?
Yeah.
You can't tell your shareholders, oh yeah, well we made a deal now that took 4 or 5% out of our gross revenue for our films. You can't tell people that.
You can't tell people that at all.
And then you have to also project, what if it doesn't do as well?
Yeah.
What if it's not as big as Far From Home and all of a sudden you do less? Now you're talking about a, 8% across, loss possibly across the board? They can't take that hit.
Jill says on the YouTube chat, 5 to 25 is still a big jump, low key. You know what else is a big jump? 750 million to over $1 billion.
And only going up.
That's a big jump too.
Yep.
Let's talk business. Fuck a fandom. Fuck how you feel about the fandom part. Let's talk business. Kevin Feige is probably the most sought after dude in Hollywood. Even though he only works for Disney, people trying to get in.
He's president of Marvel Studios. President!
These are facts. He's president of the #1 studios of all time. He's sought after. Look at all the work he has to do with movies. Now add all the Disney Plus shit.
Yep.
That's more. That's more that he has to do. Thus, making his value more. Making his time worth more.
Yep.
So I don't think that Disney is out of pocket for saying that this guy who we're paying, because let's be real here, this wasn't Marvel. People need to stop saying that. This is Marvel. This wasn't Marvel. This was Disney. Disney had to walk in. Disney always says, we're not going to fuck with y'all shit until we have to. I see Disney walking in saying, wait, we're paying this guy to do all this shit. And you telling me that this nigga got to stop to help these niggas?
Yep.
Then the price needs to go up.
Yeah.
The price needs to go up.
Because they have to supplement.
Yeah.
If he is contracted them for a certain amount of money, they need to make sure his time is worth that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's doing something that's less valuable, they have to supplement that. That ain't his all of a sudden choice if he don't just make money that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guarantee him a salary.
Absolutely. I mean, no, you're absolutely right. And so his time is worth more. So once again, I think that it is unfair for people to say that Disney was asking for too much for this guy who's worth billions of dollars and going up. I don't think that they are out of pocket for saying, hey, I feel like we should get more money for this.
Yep.
I don't feel like they're being out of pocket for that. I told everybody on this podcast that once Spidey reached over $1 billion, things are going to have to change. That same deal they made, it can't be the same.
Yeah.
They need to raise it up.
And
Now,
that's a hard place for both sides.
I agree.
Hard place for both sides.
I agree. Let me see what MTF says. Here's a metaphor for you. Spider-Man is an incredible sandwich ingredient, but Sony's bread is average to below average. Marvel, on the other hand, has bomb-ass bread, which means that its sandwiches are always high quality. Unless the ingredients are trash, Spidey in the MCU was a bomb-ass ingredient on bomb-ass bread. I like that analogy.
Yep.
I think that's great. I said this before, and I say this to all Spider-Man fans who are pissed. What's funny?
I was thinking too. It's like when your mom make you a sandwich, it should be good as fuck. Versus when you try to make the same sandwich, you like, how come it's not even
Like, I'm using the same ingredient. Like, I'm using the same
refrigerator. What's wrong with you?
the extra mom
The
glove.
extra mom
The
love.
mom love
Well,
on
I
it.
can do that shit. But like when you go to a sandwich place and be some older ladies there, they can make a bomb ass out. Then you go to the day where they got like the young kids there in the summer, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? Meat ain't even on the sandwich. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Like, add something to that.
That's that Sony sandwich.
Kaiju said, let's not forget that Feige was consulting on other Spider-Man related property. Absolutely. Jules says the lowest Sony Spidey made 700 and 750 alone. Marvel made them $1 billion, but they would have to break bread with a lot of that if they give 25.
Yeah, they would.
Okay.
And that's part of Sony's problem is right now it won't look good to the shareholders if they make that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because they need that Spider-Man money. Spider-Man is something that like you said, look at Venom. And Venom wasn't a good movie. And it makes sense why Venom and the MCU wouldn't have wanted Venom over in their universe, because like you just gave him a weak ass freaking origin story. We have to tie in such a shitty story to our epic high level storylines. Like doesn't even make sense how they would meet now. Like what is it?
They're going to make it happen, though. They're going to make it happen.
Sony will make it happen because
yeah.
Sony don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Willie Beeman said it's not going to hurt Sony, though. Let me tell you something. Once again, business hats on. Sony now has a problem. Sony now has to make another Spider-Man movie that makes over $1 billion.
They don't have to.
Yeah, they do.
Not for their profit line.
I disagree.
Nope.
I disagree. And the reason why I say I disagree is because they're now going to make less money.
They're not making less money.
They are going to make less money.
If you go in, it's not going to be much less money. They're not going to put the same level.
I don't think it's
going
to do as well.
Production contest.
Let me ask you another question.
It's going to do well just so people can see if it do well.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would Far From Home have done well if it wasn't an MCU?
Wouldn't have done as well.
Okay. So why would we think that another one would do just as well?
It won't. It won't hit $1 billion. I'm saying it won't hit $1 billion.
I'm gonna say 700.
I'm gonna say this.
I don't even think it's gonna reach $1 billion.
I think it'll break 850, maybe hit 9.
Nah.
And here's why.
No way.
People are gonna go see it to see if it's bad.
I don't think so.
People gave Venom that kind of movie, and it ain't even Spider-Man.
I don't think so.
People are already on Tom Holland train.
I don't think so.
I think that here's where I think the disparity will be.
Okay.
I think this next one will do good.
I don't think it will.
But I think 4 is gonna fall off around like 6.
I don't think the
600.
next one would do good, especially if John Watts doesn't come back.
I think people are gonna go see it on. Like I said, people shouldn't have gone to see Venom as much as they did.
You're right.
But they did.
I don't think the second Venom's gonna do well.
I don't think it'll do as well as the first Venom.
I don't think it's gonna do well.
I think Spider-Man's gonna tarnish it.
I think that people are petty enough.
Have they released the date?
It'll be at least, I don't know, next year or 2022. But the director is set. They already got the actors.
Okay.
I think what's going to happen is for Venom to reach $1 billion, Tom Holland's gonna have to be featured in Venom 2.
Neither movie will make $1 billion.
Okay.
They won't.
Okay.
They'll make well enough to be profitable by a nice percentage margin to keep them trying to make films. I think where they're going to fall off is Venom 2 is going to fall off hard. It's going to see a significant drop, maybe 500 to 600. And I think Spider-Man 4, after this one, I think is when they're going to see this shit don't work. I think people are going to give it a chance.
And I agree with Kaiju said. I said it before. Morbius is going to be what shifts everything. I agree with that.
I think if Morbius is bad, it'll just be overlooked because who knows Morbius? Who is Morbius going to disappoint?
Sony.
So look at Men in Black International. Sony's okay with disappointment.
Well, I mean, no, you're right, and that's another thing that's gonna fuck them up because their numbers are gonna look bad. Here's the deal.
And that's why they couldn't do the business with Disney.
They
That's
should
exactly
do the
why.
business. They
Because
should
their
do the
forecast
business
is
with
looking
Disney.
lower.
Because even with the shit that they did together, they still made more money than their regular shit.
Oh, we got to do the math. here.
Okay, let's do some math here. And NTF even said, but Venom came out with no Marvel movies on the horizon. Next year, Eternals will be out. Okay, we got 1 billion.
Whoops, I messed up.
Huh? What?
There we go.
Okay, 1 billion 100.
And that is
1 billion 100 million. Divided by.
If I'm doing this correctly. 8, 6.
Huh?
So they right now
12% of Sony's entire revenue
Mm-hmm.
for the year that Far From Home came out was in Far From Home.
Agreed.
So that's $1.1 billion out of their they got $8.6 billion in revenue from just films that year.
Mm-hmm.
That's 12% of their money came from that one film.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you had to take 25% of that away? That's what? Let's see. So 12% of what's 25% of that total?
So let's say they do another 1.1. 3%.
3%. That's a 3% deal to your overall bottom line of your film studio over one property.
Okay. What's the problem?
That's a good chunk of money.
So, here's the deal. No, here's the deal. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Let me talk to you for a minute. You're only thinking one film. Here's the problem. They want films dropping every year. That's what they want. They want films dropping
But
every
right
year.
now, with the current partnership, and this is where I think Disney's kind of playing the long game with them.
Mm-hmm.
The current partnership, Disney's only putting out one of those films. I think what Disney's waiting for Sony to do is bust up and be like, all right, we're also going to give you these characters. So Disney
It
can do
needs to
multiple
be that.
things.
Here's
and
what
that would
Sony-
make the deal make sense.
Here's
Like,
what
if
Sony
you could
needs to
give
do.
up 3
Okay.
characters, and each of those characters
Well, what,
making
3?
over $1 billion.
What 3?
I would say right now,
Oh, you crazy for thinking. I'll say it right now. Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy. Do we need anyone else? Oh, Venom.
I would like Goblin. Give me Osborn. I want Norman.
Okay.
Because Norman could tie in
Well, I
with
guess we
all
don't-
3.
I guess
heroes.
with Sony, I guess with Miles and Gwen, I guess they would come with Peter. Okay, so Peter, Venom, Hobgoblin. I mean, Green Goblin.
Peter, yeah, because if you can include, like I said, because I don't even think, and don't get it twisted here, I think marketing-wise, Miles and Gwen are more important than Peter. If they can get Miles and Gwen, I would trade Peter back for Miles and Gwen. Because Miles and Gwen, I think, can sell you very well forward. And you've already given us two Peter movies. But at the same time, Osborn, Oscorp, everything that ties in with that is huge.
I might have to agree with you on that.
Because I'm thinking way forward. Don't get me wrong, Peter. I'm not saying anything to tarnish Peter's popularity, and I can see that being a better deal for some. Keep Spidey. Keep Peter. Make the movies. Enjoy.
Now you're right.
Let
Now,
us
here's
have-
what I
let us have
think.
this.
Here's what I think. I think that they're gonna turn Miss Marvel into their new Spider-Man. Cause let's be real here. Tom Holland Spider-Man is Miss Marvel.
Here's the only problem.
No. I want you to think about that for a little bit.
I do.
Tom Holland Spider-Man is just Miss Marvel.
I see your point. I see why you're going there.
Okay.
And here's my only problem with it.
Okay.
Only problem. Give me 3 rogues for Miss Marvel.
Does that matter? She's not gonna be on the big screen.
That's part of our entire conversation.
She's not gonna be-
for this show.
No, it's not.
Our show is Are You Better Than Your Rogue Gallery?
Miss Marvel's popularity is not based on her villains.
I'm not saying her personality. I'm just saying, give me 3. Give me a reason for her to be a superhero.
She has it because she's inspired by Captain Marvel.
Okay, but who's she fighting?
There's gonna be villains.
Who's she fighting? Of course there's gonna be villains.
Uh huh.
Who's she fighting?
Why does that matter?
I'm curious.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't. I mean, here's the
Because
deal. I read.
there's a big
I don't.
villain
I
in
don't
the back of
read
our show here.
comics. I don't read comics, so I can't tell you who the bitch is gonna fight.
Right, but when I said Norman Osborn, you got excited.
Well, yeah. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
When he
Don't
said
do that.
Venom,
Don't do
He said
that.
Venom.
Don't do that.
We named two when we started
Don't
bringing
do
over
that.
Spider-Man characters. We
Okay.
named 2 Venoms and 2 Spider-Man.
Because I
characters.
highly doubt the Miss Marvel show is going to be focused more on the villains that she fights.
I'm sure, but at the same time, a hero is made better by their villains. Am I wrong?
And no, you're right. You're not wrong.
So
but
when
here's the
you're
deal.
saying they're gonna make Ms. Marvel the new Spider-Man,
Uh-huh.
I'm saying that's gonna be a little harder because
I guess.
she doesn't have villains.
I don't think that's what the problem's going to be. I
That's
think
gonna
that
be one of the problems.
Well, here's
but
the
I'm saying
cool
she's
thing.
a different cell then because she doesn't have villains.
Eh,
Like for example, if you were to say you can almost trade Flash in a degree for Spider-Man, even though I know he's not as popular. Well, yeah, Flash got a ton of road. You can do a lot with the Flash storyline,
yeah.
like you do with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel is going to be a little more one-dimensional because you're just following Miss Marvel's story.
Let me ask you a question. Just because her villains aren't popular, does that still negate
Aren't
her?
popular or exist?
She has villains.
Are they her villains?
Nigga, you can Google that shit. There's fucking Miss Marvel villains, okay? I know one of them looks like Blanca. That's what I know. One of them looks like a video game one, but it looks like Blanca.
Are they villains or just people she fought?
Jew says she's not popular enough. Are you sure about that?
I'm saying she could be popular,
Are
but I'm
you-
saying
no,
to
I mean,
replace Spider-Man
he
as
said-
Marvel's Flex, I don't think she's gonna be the one.
I think that she can be.
I would almost say Deadpool has a better chance of replacing.
I think that she can be. I think that she has the potential to do so. Everybody knows Spider-Man is not the same with Miss Marvel. I can say that, yeah, but also, are we sure about that? Marvel's been pushing Miss Marvel probably more than you think. I'm pretty sure if people know about Marvel comics, they know about Miss Marvel.
Okay.
She's been featured in CNN.
No listings.
Jew says, I could go ask a stranger who Spider-Man is. I can't do the same with Miss Marvel. You know, we got to get rid of that mind state. That just because a character isn't as well known means they never will be. Because if you stand by that, I have a group called the Guardians of the Galaxy that says hello.
See,
Who went from who to household names
so
in like a year.
So what I'm noticing here, though, is that most of Miss Marvel's actual solo villains that don't belong to somebody else are Inhumans.
Well, they said that Marvel's interested in giving Inhumans another shot.
Interesting.
They're interested in giving the humans another shot. I completely am for that. I feel like that is the one official L that Marvel has, even over Iron Fist.
Well, yeah, the Humans are a whole group that could have been great that was just botched. Thank you, Scott Buck.
Yeah, I know.
You really fucked that one up.
And TF's are the best, but Kamala could be a good guest character for sure. Absolutely. I can see Miss Marvel showing up in almost every comic book movie. I can see her being there. She's definitely going to be in Captain Marvel 2.
Yeah.
Let's get that out the way. She's definitely going to be in Captain Marvel 2. She says, Jill says, I'm not saying she's not well known. I'm saying Spidey is iconic. She's not an iconic character. Once again, Marvel has made iconic characters out of characters that used to not be iconic. Iron Man wasn't iconic. I know it's been 11 years. It's hard to imagine that. But at some point, people didn't really give a shit about Iron Man.
Hawkeye was nowhere near where he at right now.
Exactly.
Especially not to necessitate
Black
a show about a follow-up character to Hawkeye.
Facts. Black Widow. People were saying Black Widow was their favorite character. This bitch wasn't even in the fucking Avengers for mad years.
Yeah, nobody
Basically-
cared about Black Widow. Captain America was a joke. Thor was easily the most popular of the team. Next
I
to Hulk.
remember. You remember? You know the dudes who do CinemaSins?
Yeah.
They did a whole. This is years ago. They did a whole video about how nobody gives a shit about Captain America. They did a whole. You can look it up. Look at CinemaSins Captain America. They did a whole video. Unless they took it down. But they did a whole video about how no one gives a shit about Captain America. His movies are not going to do good. Why are they making this film? Years later, niggas mad at Marvel because they retired a nigga.
Facts. I mean, let's keep 100. Who the fuck is Scott Lang?
Exactly.
Fuck, Scott Lang got a fucking movie.
Two!
He got a movie and a follow-up.
2 movies. He has his own little corner of the MCU dedicated just to Ant-Man. If it wasn't for Ant-Man, we wouldn't even have Endgame. That was all Ant-Man.
They'd be all dead.
Yeah, that was all Ant-Man. That was all 100% Ant-Man. Like, people keep giving him shit. Why is he here? Why is he here? All the shit they did was because of Ant-Man.
No.
Everything
No.
was because of him.
Eyes and Turtle says Thor 2 not an L. Thor 2 wasn't a bad film, but they didn't ruin Thor. As you can see, Ragnarok came out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Thor 2 was bad, but it didn't ruin Thor.
Thor 1 and 2 weren't all that great. I do hear Kat Dennings is coming back for another one of the shows.
The Marvel show.
Kat Dennings going to be in WandaVision. WandaVision is slowly becoming my most anticipated one.
I was always like, I mean, knowing what Vikings liked, Thor would have totally chose Kat Dennings over
Absolutely.
J-Lo.
Absolutely.
over Natalie Portman. That would have
Absolutely.
been, like, no question.
Like I said, Thor 2.
yeah.
Thor 2 was great because Thor 2 was so bad that they had to go and get Taika to go to Thor.
I mean, look. I mean, when it comes down to it, Iron Man 2 and 3 weren't all that great. Thor 1 and 2 weren't all that great.
I stand by this.
The Iron Man character wasn't destroyed as a result.
Yeah,
Inhumans was bad as like Fan Four Stick 2015 bad, where it's like there's nothing redeemable. We have to just let people forget about this.
No, you're absolutely right. Here's the deal. Here's my thing regarding all this. Captain America has the best trilogy.
Out of
Yes.
I don't know, Lord of the Rings is the only.
Man, get the fuck out! Did
Only
you just
competitor.
wait? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
I've seen Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
You're telling me the Lord of the Rings trilogy is better than Captain America's trilogy? I will hit you with this goddamn
Only
chair.
Cap 1.
What's wrong with Cap 1?
Nothing.
Don't
It's
do
not
that.
as good as Fellowship of the Ring.
Give me something to throw this.
It's
Give me
not.
something.
It's not. Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
Don't
Don't
do that.
be mad. It is.
That's not a fair comparison.
That was not fair. You said anything. Don't open up the door to anything. You should have just said comic book movies. I'll be like, yes, absolutely.
So wait.
Or sci-fi. You go on take this fantasy sci-fi sense. In there.
That's
But I'm
the
saying,
same shit.
I'm saying, I will say this. Cap is easily, and I just have to go through the whole.
Okay, I'd assume a movie's in.
Oh yeah, number one.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number one.
We agree. We agree.
Easily.
We agree.
Easily.
We
I
agree.
would say he's top 3 in all time.
Guys, you said don't go down this path. Yeah, we're gonna be a whole other hour.
Civil War sucked as a Captain America entry as like Avengers 2.5.
No, it wasn't.
Willie Beeman says Lord of the Rings is trash. Okay.
Well,
Iron
okay,
Man
yeah,
is the
relax,
best- Iron Man is
relax,
the best trilogy. Yeah, right.
relax.
My list is Batman trilogy, the Cap trilogy. I can't agree with the Batman trilogy, and here's why. The first Batman.
Batman
was-
Returns.
Huh?
Batman Returns.
No, I'm sorry. The first Batman in the Nolan trilogy.
Batman Batman Begins.
Batman
sorry.
Begins,
Batman
yeah.
Begins.
Batman Begins to me was a good movie. It wasn't great. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if I had to give it a scale out of 10, it would be at best an 8, reasonably probably a 7, 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Knight, aka the Joker movie, was phenomenal. It was a 10 out of 10. It was fucking great. Especially for the time it came out in 2008. Fucking phenomenal. It set up a lot of the big investments for superhero movies going forward, just like Blade had done before.
It did.
Dark Knight Rises sucked.
Dark Knight Rises is trash.
It was easily on its best day like a 4. If I'm being realistic, it was like a 2, 2.5. Everything about it was fairly garbage. The way Bane talked is still laughable to this day.
I didn't understand.
Gotham. Don't come down here to my football field, or I will separate you from the rest of the world, because there's no helicopters in Gotham. Nobody can leave.
Why would the Commissioner Gordon just do the dumbest move, or every cop in existence all going through this thing? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No cop would have agreed to that.
Yeah.
Nobody would have been like, all right, let's all go. My nigga would be like, maybe one of us should stay out.
Like, literally, you have to make it we have to understand that, literally, apparently Batman, if he was smart, he could have invested in his people a long time ago and trained up several Batmans and they'd never have this problem. But, because Batman doesn't give people jobs, everybody's really quick to turn, and Batman pretty much owns the city. But no, let's be realistic. The Dark Knight Rises was not a good movie. It making money wise, sure, it did great, but it was not a good movie. I would say Batman Begins was closer to equal to the first Avenger. I probably would say I like the first Avenger a little bit more, but
I do.
That's because let's be real. Hallie Atwell, aka Peggy Carter, is a
snack.
She's a whole fucking meal, nigga. Curvy.
That's a hell of a woman.
I'll
right
watch
there.
the shit out of some Agent Carter. Bring her back. Bring her back.
Bring her back. I agree 100%.
But no, let's keep it 100. I would say they're very close to there. Winter Soldier is
The best
Winter Soldier is one of the best comic book movies
Ever.
of all time.
I will put Winter Soldier against any of the Batman films. Any of them.
I would say it was fucking phenomenal. I would say that, but that's another wash. And I would say where things really do get fuzzy is when you compare Civil War to The Dark Knight Rises.
Civil War
And
shits on it.
Anybody who's, I don't care what score you give Civil War, you can give Civil War a 7, Dark Knight Rises is a 3. If you give Civil War a 5, Dark Knight Rises is a 1.
It's a
That's how-
negative.
if you give Civil War a 10, Dark Knight Rises is at best a 4 again. So,
People keep saying Civil War is an Avengers movie.
that's
I
right.
think
Call it what you want to call it. It has Captain America on the title.
That's but that's complete bullshit.
Especially because of the driving plot.
Yeah, everything about the movie had something to do with Captain America.
You
The
could've-
whole focus.
You could have called it Captain America. What about Bucky? And it would have still been the same movie.
Yeah, it was the same. Yeah,
And it
yeah,
just had a more
yeah.
Captain America title.
Yeah, everything, every moment, everything moved because of Captain America. Everything moved. If the Superman movie was about him running from the law and doing shit like that, and other heroes were trying to stop him, does that make it now a Justice League movie? No, it's still a Superman movie. It makes sense. Captain America lives in Avengers Tower.
Yep.
He is the leader of the Avengers. And so it makes sense that Avengers were involved.
And you had to set up for the next one. And this is the problem with, I think, a lot of the stuff that they do with some of the Batman stuff, especially, is we have to understand, when you're talking about holding, an entire city in thrall, and Superman's supposed to exist, the idea that Superman, who's a reporter, who's very up-to-date on news, doesn't just fly by real quick and stop it all in a second.
Yeah.
Starts to not make sense when they don't know, when they don't know each other. Because especially if he doesn't know Batman, it's like, oh yeah, this whole city's about to be wiped off the map. Let it go. I let Paul die. I'm snapping necks. I don't need to deal with any of that bullshit.
Yeah. Ooh, Kaiju wanted to joke. He said Dark Knight has such a great Joker performance that people gloss over the weaknesses. Damn.
Well, yeah, it's a Joker movie.
Well, yeah, it's a Joker movie.
Batman could be weak.
The Captain America trilogy ends on a cliffhanger. You can't watch the Captain America trilogy on its own. You can watch the Iron Man trilogy on its own.
No, the Captain America trilogy does wrap up.
It does wrap up.
Let's keep it 100. The Captain America trilogy starts with two young boys about to go to war, try to fight for their country. In Civil War, at the end of Civil War, one boy brings his friend home. How does that not fucking wrap up?
Yeah.
I mean, they go through in Civil War. In First Avenger, they part ways. One of those boys is taken. In Part 2, he finds out what happened to his friend. In Part 3, he brings his friend home.
Yeah.
Undoes the programming. Gives him. Basically, they get out of the war. They start the war and they get out together. I don't see how that's not a wrap up. It ends with but that's a separate movie line. That's a separate fight.
Yeah.
You're talking about Captain America story with Bucky. Basically, two boys that go to war where they started. Basically, scrapped up in the alley. One's helping his boy out, and it comes full circle where he helps his friend out.
And also, we want to talk about bullshit endings. We're gonna talk about Dark Knight Rising. how fucking Bruce Wayne is supposed to be dead, and yet this nigga's in fucking France. Like that was just so stupid. People like you're a world-known guy. He's just kicking it in France.
Like people won't know you.
And people will be like, "Hey, this
Oh,
nigga's
yeah,
alive."
You tell me
like Tupac or some shit.
Now we got a Batman Catwoman team up, and you tell me they ain't going out and handling business. They just gonna have coffee every day, and Alfred out of a job. What kind of retirement package you give Alfred? We don't know.
And
Alfred got to go be a butler for somebody else. He's like, "Hello, Mr. Batson, Billy Batson. I hear you can use some help."
Batman should have died in DKR.
I don't think he should have died, but he wouldn't have stopped being Batman. Like, the fact that the movie starts out with him having retired being Batman.
No, exactly. No.
Like, let's keep it 100. The motherfucker literally stopped being Batman after he fought the Joker.
And also,
And they have this is bad knees Batman.
Bad knees Batman.
Who then got paralyzed and still was able to come back with bad knees.
Hey, wait, why was he so fucked up in the second Batman movie? He only been doing it for like he only been doing it for like 4 months.
He's a realistic Batman. Realistic Batman, they know, bro.
Realistic Batman,
You're gonna be in your 20s and 30s doing all that shit. They gonna affect you. Shit,
Maybe they gave him
that last like 6-7 years.
Maybe they gave him that neck brace.
Yeah,
I mean that leg brace.
Yeah.
They just fixed this shit hella immediately. That's not how bones work. You can't.
Well, that's the best part is because he didn't have the knee brace when he was in prison. He wouldn't have been able to get out by them fixing his back. Because he still needed a knee brace. Knee brace just held in position.
One
he ran through all the
right,
parties.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one last question, because you know we always gotta say something confrontational, and I want an honest answer here. So AppleCare tells me that Hawkeye is racist because he killed Asian people. He went to Asia to fuck up Asian people. Yeah. Okay. We can agree that he went to Asia. No, this happened. He went to Asia to fuck up Asian people. Bad Asian people, but he went there to fuck up Asian people. Okay. Is Bruce Wayne racist because in Batman Begins he purposely goes to an Asian prison to fuck up Asian people?
But not kill them.
So?
Beating up Asian people is apparently okay.
So it's okay to beat them up.
But you can't kill them.
But you can't kill them. So Hawkeye's only racist.
And the best part about Batman, though, when you think about it, Batman was beating up people as a prisoner. He was just beating up other prisoners. Like, you are all in here because you're prisoners. You broke the law just like they broke the law, but for some reason they get to get beat up.
I mean, I'm just saying. AppleCare is telling me
he went to support
he's
a
racist.
terrorist organization
Led by a white man.
that had an Asian in his place.
Aha!
And then he saves the white man.
Then he saves the white man.
Leaves all the Asians to die.
Oh, well, he's racist. I keep trying to tell you, he's fucking racist.
But he left him to die. He didn't kill him, or did he? He started that fire, huh?
He started the fire.
Yeah. Batman does kill.
He kill Asians.
He kill Asians.
He doesn't.
White people can live.
I'm going off the rules that the internet has set for me. I'm going off of the rules. Does that not apply? If it doesn't apply, that's bad privilege. I'm sorry. It's bad privilege. Same shit.
Do we know if the ending in Dark Knight Rises is real or if it's Alfred's wish fulfillment? I mean, we're supposed to believe it's real. Otherwise, that's just a ploy for no reason ever because we never got into the movie. And we already know that Batman was retired at the beginning of the movie, so him going back to retirement kind of makes sense. He ain't got no knees. Can't bat if he ain't got no knees. He also went to Mexico to fuck up the Mexican cartel.
He's racist. He's racist.
Yeah.
I just
throw
like
Hawkeye
it.
in Wakanda, then we'll know if he's really racist or not. Hawkeye would just die.
Hawkeye would just get murked. Do you hate Hawkeye? Why would you want him to go there?
Excuse me, colonizer. We already have one white wolf and one substitute. You need to leave immediately.
Say substitute again, then.
Substitute.
Substitute.
One substitute.
I'm fucking weak.
Gotta speak for Wakanda.
With that last half hour, I should have asked you to do this before.
What?
Did you hear about all this shit happening with Funimation?
Oh my god. Goku! Get that nigger!
Are you serious? Is that what he said?
No.
I want to find it. Can you find it? I want to hear it. I want to hear this shit.
That would be the best. Get that nigger!
Get that.
Because remember he's not black one.
Because what I'm being told, they were saying some shit, boy. those of you who don't know, Funimation, the people who mostly known, they do a lot of anime, but they're mostly known for Dragon Ball. The people who do the American voiceovers for Dragon Ball. Something got leaked. Something got leaked.
Some kid talking about it.
Of them, and why were they recording this? But anyways, I bet you they recorded it because they all went back to it a bunch of times. That's why. Aha. Move this just a slight, just a smidge. There we go. Thank you. So basically, they got caught recording, doing saying some crazy shit. I'm trying to find it.
I'm trying to find it here.
Sean Shemmel is screwed. Who is Sean Shemmel? Shemmel is probably one of the voices.
Yeah, gotta be.
It's gotta be on YouTube or some shit. What's this? What is this Dragon Ball Kakarot game?
It's like an RPG kind of game. It was big at the last E3. It's supposed to be like a big joint venture kind of thing. He's the voice of Goku. So I thought Goku was voiced by a woman in Japanese, so I'm guessing he's an American.
What is Raditz?
Raditz is his brother.
Oh.
They had me, Popo, taking back shots from the outro. This shit is hilarious. Oh, hold on. Damn it.
The same people hyping that game as trash in the Avengers game.
Yeah.
I love that the Avengers game is getting such hate for no reason at all. Oh, it looks like, nigga, you haven't played it one time. They gotta have the leak somewhere.
It's the problem is they do. It's just, you know how people like to do their whole like, oh, here's me.
It's called Funny Leaks. Oh, here's me talking. Funny Leaks.
Okay, I think this is
Hold on, I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, we're about to hear this shit. To me, racism is funny.
I do have one more request. It has to do with our training regime. Will you guys suck me off until I come all over your faces? Faggot-ass clothes. Faggot, faggot, fag. Fuck fag. My son's a fag.
Yeah, I'm carrying a few extra pounds around myself. Not much time to work out. Keeping them happy is a full-time job. Especially that bitch on the right. God damn, are you trying to keep that bitch happy? It's impossible. I just give her food, I give her presents, I give her rings, I give her any... I'm sorry.
Well, you know, I wouldn't keep anything from my fans. Not even this gorgeous cock.
Go on. Go on. Yes! Yes!
Damn. Chi-Chi?
Right there!
I mean, I guess Goku left him lonely. Goku was always leaving.
Come closer. I feel my time is near, and I've never been with a man before.
What the fuck?
Apply the sacred ointment, Popo.
Oh, yes, comment.
You about to get fucked in the ass?
Right there. Yeah, oh,
Yamcha!
you're so good, Mr. Popo.
I know. Popo does not fuck.
You must, Popo. It is for me.
Whoa! What's wrong?
Yeah, nothing, Yamcha. It's nothing. Mr. Popo and I have a special relationship. Oh, my Popo, he knows how to handle balls. He handled all the balls last time.
No way!
Oh my
Let me have
god,
some of that.
what the fuck?
It's my ointment. I need it. I need it for Piccolo.
What's going on here?
I have to use the sacred ointment.
Apply the sacred ointment on me.
No way! I need some.
Bend over, Yamcha.
Yo, what the fuck, yo?
It's taking this a little
No!
far.
That can't be!
Like a whole scene.
Yeah, more of that.
No!
Bend over further, Yamcha.
It
This is like
Stop it!
choreographed, dog.
Like there is a video for this somewhere. I'm telling you.
No. Release yourself, Yamcha. It is the right thing to do. Popo, tell him.
Yes, it is true. Kami does not lie. He likes big butts. He cannot lie.
No way. You're right. It feels pretty good. Why don't you try, Mr. Popo?
Okay.
Why is it so long? Oh, that's the.
Ooh,
They made noises, dog.
I need some.
Yeah, dude, they had sound effects earlier when it was blasting.
Yeah.
Run out.
Holy
the only one
shit.
left is at Goran's tower.
Audio track?
Oh, guys, what the hell's happening here? Let me read your mind. Oh, Jesus Christ. You've been butt
Shut up,
fucking
Kaiji.
again, haven't you?
It's just the way. The way. You know that Nail is part of me now. Refused. He said he'd like me inside. And I said no, and then he entered me.
What the fuck?
Shit got dark.
Yo.
Yeah, why is it so long?
This is
Especially
mad
this
long,
scene.
yo.
Feeling like I've never had.
Yo, this is hella long.
What about me, Kami?
There's always time.
Like y'all did a whole.
They did a whole.
Like there is video to this. There has to be video to
You're
this.
going to get paid.
You're paid in flowers and in love.
Alright, I've heard enough, man. God damn.
Oh, I'm gonna fast forward real quick.
Oh, you trying to?
It is really this scene.
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's like this scene right here. They're like really big into the Piccolo, Kami, Popo sodomy.
Was that really? As our Dragon Ball expert, was that really their voices?
Oh, see, I don't really watch the dubs.
Oh, you're that guy.
Well, it's not just
Who watches the Japanese the Japanese versions of Dragon Ball?
Somebody who watches them when they actually release versus
Oh, fuck.
like 8 months later.
8 months?
Have you seen this Tournament Power release?
I thought that they got those pretty quickly over here. Not in 8 months.
It used to be years.
I mean, I remember
So
those
like
years.
when you were a kid and you just get used to that, you just like, oh well, fuck it, I'd rather just have it now.
Okay, so Kaiju's saying yes. The people are saying nah. It's them.
I mean, people are saying they're actually. I mean, it's them. It's for sure them. Yeah.
Wow.
That's going. Somebody losing their job. That's just that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get that out of the way. Somebody losing their job.
Somebody. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what to say because it's like, at first it was kind of funny, so I was like, okay.
Right.
And then it was like, well, this isn't really funny at all, so you guys aren't going to really win here. You're just kind of doing yourselves a disservice.
What do you think is going to happen now?
Someone's going to get fired. They're going to keep pushing. Dragon Ball's too big for them to cancel everything.
Well, they're not going to cancel everything, of course. It's just, are they going to find new voice people?
Yeah. Goku's
For
not
all
a
of
hard.
them?
Goku, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're not hard voices to do. They're not hard voices to do. And you got to remember, these are characters I think people will support no matter what.
Well, yeah. I don't think that Dragon Ball's over. I'm just talking about Funimation.
Nah. I think Funimation, like, look, y'all motherfuckers is a dime a dozen. I don't think you're the only person. You ain't like no fucking James Earl Jones, bro. You can do this voice. Like, nah, you sounding like Goku. Like, you are generally sounding like you're sounding like the American version of a character played by a woman.
Yeah, a woman does voice him.
Yeah, I think him, Gohan.
They're all voiced by women.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I think as long as Vegeta's American voice actor stays, you're good.
Everyone loves a Vegeta. I didn't know he had a Twitter, and his Twitter handle is Voice of Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to do anything else.
Dragon Ball's over 25 years old? Yeah, Dragon Ball's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. I've been watching Dragon Ball since I was a kid. I've been watching Dragon Ball probably to the end.
Dragon Ball... Is Dragon Ball the most... Like...
Yes.
No.
Yep.
Simpsons.
Oh, I thought you were going to say anime.
I was just talking about like and shows really.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Maybe in the U.S., but I mean, how big is Simpsons overseas compared to Dragon Ball?
No, I know you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
Dragon Ball has probably 10 times more games. I mean, Dragon Ball's got like 30, 40 something games.
That's because of y'all niggas. Y'all niggas buy the same Dragon Ball games. They package the same story, and they just re-release it in another format.
Yeah. They've got RPGs, they got action games.
And it's all the same shit.
Same long ass.
No, I mean
300 something episode story.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
They just do it again.
Think about this stuff.
Okay.
That's how popular it is.
Fair.
You can repackage the same shit and sell it over. That's what they do with Call of Duty. Can't say Call of Duty ain't popular.
Call of Duty's bullshit.
Call
Call of Duty, and the sports games. Like they are screwing everybody. They're selling all the same game.
Why do you think? EA got Madden or NFL 2K up out of here? Because NFL 2K5, they're like, yeah, we're thinking about doing bi-yearly releases and just updating the rosters on like internet supported things. And there were people were like, yeah, that'd be great. And football games shouldn't cost that much, so releasing this for $20. EA was like, oh, we can't do that. It's $60 a pop. It's going to be yearly, and we ain't updated once since 2001.
Got him out. Like,
just think about it. Madden, aside from graphical changes, they haven't really done much new shit since 2001.
No, same thing.
Every year they had a gimmick that people don't really care for.
Yeah. Every year it's the same shit, and like my son who buys all the Madden games, he's just like convinced. Well, every year they do something different. What do they do different?
No, he's absolutely right.
What do they do different?
They'll be like, the play chart now is the bottom of the screen. Now it's up here. New Madden. It's the cheapest bullshit ever. I do not play Madden anymore. After that deal, I stopped playing Madden altogether. I haven't played a Madden game since. Because NFL 2K5.
NFL 2K was great.
Shat all over Madden, and Madden just bought it out and continue to make the franchise shit. And I don't care what people say, oh, Madden now good. I don't give a fuck if it took you like 14 years to get fucking good. Mm-hmm. Fuck you for doing it.
Yeah, and people want to talk monopolies.
Yeah.
I mean,
EA tried to get, EA, here's the funny thing about EA and their monopoly, and this is why I say Disney won't have a monopoly. EA went after 989 Studios bought the MLB license. Mm-hmm. And they was like, well, hold up. We got all these baseball games. You guys can't do that. So they took them to court. They got laughed out of court because they said, you just did the same thing with an NFL license. Mm-hmm. Are you guys trying to hold a monopoly?
Yeah.
Well, no, but, we have money. Then you guys can't be mad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just did the same exact fucking thing. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Because EA was trying to hold a monopoly.
They gave it a shot.
Yep.
And you could kind of say they do. I mean, they are the only ones allowed to make NFL games. No one else can make them. So if you want to play an NFL video game, you can only go to them.
Yeah.
You can only go to them. They still make. There's two different people that make NBA games.
Yep.
But football, nope. You gotta go to them. Soccer games, only go to them.
No. Another company does soccer games.
Does FIFA?
There's PES. There's a licensed soccer game. They just have the professional something. Because I don't think they have the exclusive license on soccer.
Rob J says, have y'all been watching Young Justice? The season just ended. I haven't watched the last episode yet.
No, I heard it was coming to an end, so I was going to put it on the list.
Yeah.
I've just gotten into binge mode with a lot of shows. It's hard for me to pick shows. Like, week by week shows, I have to pick very sparingly. Like, recently picked up the new HBO one with John Goodman.
Oh.
The religious one.
Yeah, I heard that one's good.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough for you then, because Disney Plus is going to be weekly.
That's why I said I gotta pick and choose. Disney Plus is gonna get picked and chosen. The problem is
niggas gonna be watching that.
But Young Justice, I mean, especially a lot of animation stuff, I'd rather binge watch it, especially shows like Young Justice, because Young Justice runs episode to episode normally. Mm-hmm. So it's like I like watching the whole one storyline throughout. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Damn, that Funimation shit was funny. Last but not least, we have to end our show with our Hawks Pox update. Power of X. Was it Power X that came out this week or House of X?
House of X came out.
Okay, House of X came out this week, sir. Did you get a chance to read it?
Yep.
Okay. First of all, shout out to Hickman. Putting respect on Cyclops' name.
I have nothing negative to say about Cyclops.
Man. He said, he was like, well, just in case if we die, he says, you will never die. He says, because for you to die, people have to not remember you. Or something like that. People have to forget you. Like, for you to die, you got, people have to forget you. No one will forget the founder of a nation. My man. I did notice that, Cyclops takes a group to space.
Takes his best buddy Wolverine. He takes everywhere.
And takes the God Nightcrawler. I'm scared a little bit.
For who?
For Nightcrawler.
Isn't Nightcrawler in a later book?
No. He's not.
So he's going to be the first Chimera?
Chimera?
Chimera? Because you got to think about who he is, too. He's the believer. He's willing to sacrifice because he believes in something better, a higher power and purpose.
Dog. Is M? Because M was also there, when they said Corey. And Husk. Which explains why. I think they're all going to die.
All of them? No.
I think they're all going to die.
I don't think Logan will.
Well, the whole thing started with people being hatched out of pods and shit.
Yes.
I think that they're all going to die and then just be resurrected.
I think that Wolverine will live.
In space? In the sun?
Huh?
In the sun?
I need to kick Wolverine back. Wolverine can live through anything.
This is true.
You just put him in all antimagium, he can't breathe for how long?
This is true.
Which means, you just kick him out into space, kick him in the right direction.
You're stupid. Kaiju, I need to talk to you. Karima Shapinder was there. She was a former X-Men, Omega Sentinel. When did she become evil?
When she said the thing, when you guys chose to choose sides. When you guys chose to take sides.
Take sides of what?
When they did this whole, the whole thing.
Oh.
That they're doing now.
Fair.
Because, I mean, when they approached her, she's like, so you're playing for the other side now? And she's like, you're the one who chose sides. So she's recently just gone over the other side.
Okay. That was crazy to see. I was like, wow, Karima, I have my thoughts on that. Kaiju, please do enlighten us, expound.
Yeah.
Please.
Let us know what you're thinking.
Let us know what you think about that. I think Nightcrawler's going to die. I think M and Husk is going to die. And that explains why they're not in the New Mutants comic book, because I was concerned about that. I said, where is M? Where's Husk? Because it seems like they're combining Generation X and the New Mutants team into one. I also see Archangel with them. I don't see Archangel on any of the teams.
True.
I'm kind of nervous here. Yes.
So Scott, let's see. So yeah, we got Husk, we got M, Nightcrawler. Because Jean's there, you think they're gonna kill off Jean?
Look, like I said, I think they're gonna die and then be resurrected as pods. Okay, Mystique as well. I don't see Mystique on any of the teams and shit.
So the only reason I think Logan will live through it and not be resurrected is because remember when in the last episode, Powers of X, when they were showing us characters, they were talking about basically like who's just a mutant, who's a chimera. I think chimeras are what comes out of the pods.
Eventually, I don't know if they could just resurrect whoever.
Let's see what Kaiji says here. Kaiji says, I think the singularity is the mutants' end game. They know the machines will always win. So the best way to beat them, to become them, and evolve past them.
Yeah, with the phalanx kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I like that. This scene was crazy with Sabretooth.
Sabretooth was perfect. And the other charges? Yeah, I did those too. Ain't like it's gonna matter. Ain't no place ever been built that can hold me.
He's not wrong.
Shit.
He's not wrong.
Though. I'm guilty meat. Definitely got bad manners.
Sabretooth don't give a fuck.
Thank you for bringing back my Sabretooth. I was very, very upset by the whatever the fuck you guys were
good
out.
Sabretooth. He goes to the next page there. Oh,
okay.
No, you good. I just wanted to highlight when I love the part. He says, "You smell that?" I love how his lawyer was scared as shit.
Yeah. What is that? Jasmine. Yeah, he was in there. So what I was going back to.
Go ahead. And shout out to Emma Frost pulling up with all her bitchitude and and
Emma Frost don't play no shit.
No, she doesn't. And the Cuckoos. I always like to see the Cuckoos being around.
I like to see them together.
Yes.
They said because what's it called? She needs to have her Regina King.
Her what's it called? What was that movie? God damn it. The one with Lindsay Lohan. Where they were in high school.
Oh, Mean Girls?
Mean Girls.
Oh, okay, Mean Girls.
Yeah, so I think you have a little Mean Girls trope going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When she pulls up, it's always nice to see they're on their Mean Girl shit to the fullest. So, whoops. This one's for powers. So I want to see something. I spelled that all wrong.
Okay. Powers of 10.
I still call it Powers of X. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm trying to go along with everything that it says on here. God, this shit is so good.
So, who would?
I
So I'm
think
thinking of that later, because I'm thinking, and here's the thing: is I think some of the stuff they do in other timelines will give us small clues to what they do here.
Yeah.
Meaning that I think she's going to try to make some of the same flexes to kind of maneuver things in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see, so they had the phalanx, and they didn't totally like just the merging with technology. So be
Yeah,
interesting.
Zorn there.
Yeah, but it was this page.
Uh-huh.
So Wolverine, James Howlett mutant, pure blood. Zorn, mutant, pure blood. Dane Frost, mutant, Chimera, second gen, and Kuroko Cypher, symbiotic, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is what I think they're kind of giving us some differences between. Pure blood Wolverine. I'm thinking because he's still a mutant, he's still around, he's still never died.
Yeah.
Zorn the same. Beyond that. So their initial Chimera, I think, second gen, I think is going to be what comes out of the pods. So that's why I think we see Nightcrawler in the way we do, where he's already, or Cardinal, Wagner, Gray, Freeman. So what if Wagner and Gray, because they're both there?
Whose last name is Freeman?
I don't know.
Is M Monet St. Croix?
Monet St. Croix.
What's Huskington's last name?
Guthrie,
right? Okay. Because Rasputin here, look at Rasputin is Quire, Rasputin, Bane, Pride, and Kinney. It's a lot.
The Adam Freeman. I'm trying to see whose last name is Freeman.
The colonists that came over to Wakanda.
Martin Freeman, the actor. There you go.
Martin Freeman. We trying to look this up.
I don't know.
Whose last name is Freeman? I don't know who the Freeman character is. I wonder if he's going to be announced later. But I think that's important.
Yeah.
Who else was the girl who she mixed with? Okay, Rasputin. Quentin Quire.
Choir. Whoops.
Quentin
Choir,
Quire, Rasputin.
Bane.
Kitty
Pride,
Pryde.
and Kenny.
Huh.
But see, you also see what's it called?
So
First
those
of
are
all,
already dead.
American Cortez was went by Ghost. He's a mutant pureblood. So the purebloods are different because Apocalypse also listed as a pureblood.
And Shia LaBeouf was a hound.
Yeah. So mutant, internal. Oh, he's a mutant external. So they have the externals listed.
So let me ask you this. So in the New Mutants comic that's coming up, they're searching for a friend in space. Is that friend Cannonball?
Maybe.
I think it's Cannonball because Cannonball most likely is in space with his wife, right?
You would think.
Because she, for those of you who don't know, and this makes perfect sense because Hickman wrote that, Cannonball is with a member of the Shar Empire. She's their new what was her name? No, I forgot her name. But anyways, yeah, he's in space. One of the Shar members. He had a baby with her. So I think that they're on whatever planet they are. So they gotta head out to space to go get him. And so the girl in red there, is that Karima?
Yeah,
I would think so. Omega Sentinel.
Yeah. Because she doesn't age, so she'd be around
Yeah.
as well. That's why we got her in House of X.
It's just crazy because in, Power 10, they kill Mora, and then Mora tells them all the plans, and that's why in the next issue they know how to do everything. They're like, dude, how do they know how to do this?
How do they know we were here? Why do they know what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
But like you said, I think that in you have to see how much people are willing to accept. I think that's her end game. The same as you said, is trying to find a way to merge the probably the Phalanx with Mutanity and create something new.
Absolutely. It's crazy. So as you can tell, we're big fans of House of X, Power of X. My mutants are back.
Comics.
My babies are back. My babies, big fans of everything that's happening there. And to be honest, I just love this part because they took Zorn's mask off. You can see Zorn smiling underneath because he wanted to die.
Yeah.
Like Zorn comes from like a line of warrior Asian dudes who they want a glorious death.
Yeah. Also, this Zorn is crazy as shit.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
has a horrible existence. Where think about it. I mean, you're a being who can't technically interact directly with other beings. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. I just love that smile under his face. He's all for this. Fuck it. This is how I want to go out.
But you know what else I noticed here too?
What's that?
That smile there. I don't think that's Peter Rasputin. Just Peter Tor. That's an Ileana smile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm wondering if she's part Husk. I didn't see a Guthrie there.
No.
But I'm kind of like...
Yeah. We'll find out more and more.
I guess we'll find out. But that ends our show for today, unless there's something else you wanted to add.
No, just make sure you're reading House of X.
Absolutely.
Mad respect. They finally put respect on Apocalypse's name, too.
I've always liked Apocalypse. I've always thought, and you might give me shit for this, but I've always thought that Apocalypse should be bigger than just an X-Men villain.
Well, I mean, why shouldn't he? I think he should.
Because he hasn't been. They've kept him very...
No, he should have been brought over to be like a... I mean, he should be at least a world threat, if not like galactic level threat. Like
They've kept him very... They've been downplaying him.
Yeah.
They basically kept him within X-Men.
Especially because he's adapted to Sentinel or Celestial technology.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, especially when you talk about the threat of the Sentinels. Think about who can adapt something better than the Sentinels.
What is Apocalypse trying to do?
What do you mean?
What is his end game? What is he trying to do? Like Thanos, we know his end game. We know what he's trying to do. What is Apocalypse trying to do?
The same thing that many of the elders of the universe
No, we understand that,
He's
but
got he found something that he believes in.
What,
Means-
apocalypse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Survival of the fittest.
Okay.
So he is using his extended lifetime to test each generation, so he could deem it fit or not. And it goes back to the little origin they gave him, where he had to basically survive.
Yeah,
on his
that
own.
makes sense.
And
My
it was-
question is this also: the Horsemen, do they always have to be mutants?
I think it's better that they are.
Tell me more.
Unless he finds like Inhumans or another species, I believe that he's also in that trying to justify his own survival and his own existence, and that he believes mutants are the key to the next generation. They're the fittest to survive. So if he's going to prove himself as fittest, he's going to be surrounded by things like him.
Okay, MTF
Anything
says.
else is something that's trying to prove that you're not as fit as him.
I got you.
So why would I power up like an Inhuman or like a Kree or something else? You know.
So
if I-
MTF says wipe out the weak. I agree. So let me ask you this: wouldn't he run a contest of champions then?
Yeah.
Okay. I just think he needs to be a bigger threat than just. They've kept him very niched to just the X-Men, and I never understood why. I mean, I get that he's a mutant.
I think if they weren't doing this right now, a storyline where Apocalypse went out and joined like the Phalanx and integrated their technology, or a storyline where Apocalypse had kind of almost like a Thanos quest, where he took the essence or being or entire technology or husk from a Celestial. Because he knows their technology.
He does.
He has a deep inside knowledge of Celestials as far as who they are, what their beings and things of that nature. So the idea of him taking the Dreamer or even a fallen Celestial and repurposing it and becoming a bigger threat, I can see that.
I can see that as well. I like that. I think there's
think about it. It's evolving.
true. I see him on the level of high evolutionary. I just see him more of a threat than I think they've made him for years. And I don't know. That's just me. MTS says Age of Apocalypse was a pretty big deal. No, you're right. But even in Age of Apocalypse, they kept it just to the X-Men.
Yeah, and the problem with Age of Apocalypse being a big deal is, like, and the way you said is, the word was. Since then, who's it? I mean, he'd probably get his jewels run on Crenshaw like Darkseid.
Darkseid a bitch. Apocalypse is taking out Darkseid. I stand by that.
See that?
Apocalypse is taking out Darkseid.
And here's the best part when people say, "Oh, you can't beat Darkseid." Well, technically, if Darkseid's multiversal and he's never been on Earth, that means technically his most powerful form can't show up to fight, and everybody's beating an Avatar.
Facts.
Green Arrow and Adam beat an Avatar.
Oh man, they didn't like that. They didn't like that. They're like, that wasn't him.
It was funny though, because people always say that, and I go, "So you're telling me this multiversal entity doesn't have enough power to imbue one of his avatars with enough power to beat Green Arrow?"
And the fucking Atom.
Like, you're telling me that none of his avatars can beat anything because he doesn't have enough power to give them. So he can exist all that he wants. He's a pussy when he shows up.
This is true. I mean, I use that same thing when they said who would win. I mean, who could go in this situation, and he had a picture of Doom. I said, well, I guess that's a Doombot. So Doombot can go. I mean, if you're gonna use that with Darkseid, I can use that with Doom.
And they have.
That's a Doombot, exactly. That's a fucking Doombot. Doombot. They're all Doombots.
All Doombots.
All Doombots.
Real Doom is busy putting in that work.
Yeah, put his real work.
The real Doom's still God. He just let y'all think you won.
A Doom movie. They still want to make. That was one of the things that was scrapped. Was a Doom movie. I'd watch that. I would. Anyways, that is our show. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Catch us online. Talk to us.
Talk to us on Twitter. Catch us online. YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, all the places, all the things. It's your boy Phony Toast, the Toastest with the mostest.
Task versus the world, and like I said, we're not a podcast, we're an oddcast. So it's the world. It's the greatest show in the Omniverse, Super Suit Show. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. Gerald gonna come last minute. This should beat Thanos.
Squirrel Girl versus Darkseid. Yeah, Squirrel Girl. Here's the thing about Squirrel Girl when people give it a loss. Squirrel Girl is unbeatable.
Yeah.
It is literally her power set.
Yeah.
You can put her against anybody and she will win because her power isn't just talking to squirrels, it's being unbeatable.
Yeah.
So
it's called the
it's kinda
Unbeatable
like,
Squirrel Girl.
It's kind of like being One Punch Man. So there you go.
Is Squirrel Girl the One Punch Man?
Yeah, Squirrel Girl is One Punch Man. She's a parody character.
Yeah,
It's like, and this is what I like about one of the things Dragon Ball did do. There's a character named like Ariel or something like that, and she's a gag character from the old like Dragon Ball original